Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like many of you, I've been playing games as long as I can remember. They're a core part of what makes me who I am. I believe there's this deeply rooted, often unstated mission of games to keep adventure alive. Bungie set out to start a new adventure. Heroes awakened on a desolate planet.
What the hell are you talking about?
They'd race alongside their friends far into the early morning in the halls of an ancient city.
It was the power of friendship
where only
all along.
a select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon. We were about to embark on the last expedition of Destiny's first saga. So let's be clear about the stakes. In the final shape, you will go inside the Traveler. The journey will be difficult.
Hey, yo.
And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or are looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world, a vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open.
It feels like they're kind of laying the groundwork for like, oh, nobody's tested this, so it might suck. But I am excited to get into that Traveler Sea. You know what I'm saying?
After all these years, we never talked about it. Why I brought you back.
Are we gonna talk about that?
Why you were chosen.
Backstory? Or our character?
The truth is, I didn't know then. It was just a feeling.
Can't stop the feeling.
But I know now. After all we've seen,
Cade, my boy
all
Cade.
we've lost. This fight
What
might
was
be
that?
our last. So I'm asking you one last time to rise.
Some psychedelic shit is going on. What the hell? Turn the volume up just a little bit. Okay.
If we're going to defeat the Witness, it's going to take everyone. Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and
Ikora and
be
Zavala are
brave
finally gonna do
in
something?
the face of Oblivion.
In the final shape, we're going to answer questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our ghost, get to reconnect with Cayde Six. So, like, while there's this great conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights, it's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for hundreds of years.
In the final shape, we're going through the portal that the Witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape.
I always thought that these
Inside
were
the Traveler
weird,
is
where they're
just
talking to each
infinite,
other.
vast, unknowable. We're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction.
Are they
of
saying
really
anything
what
that the
is
other
inside
person doesn't
Traveler.
know? This feels scripted and weird.
Is weird. It's a little strange. It makes you feel a bit uncomfortable.
Well, you were thinking it. Yeah, well, you said it.
And it is also just so cool and artistic in the best way.
Is the Pale Heart supposed to represent like life itself?
The Witness
like the
entered
concept?
well ahead of any Guardians, and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
One of the most memorable locales from Destiny's past is the D1 Tower. It's really a labor of love from the Destiny team. The final shape means so much to everyone who's building it, and I think players are really going to be able to see that.
Is it going to replace the tower?
The Pale Heart is our very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety and
like a
feel
location.
it escalate in danger,
mission location.
in surrealness, because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together.
Blade Runner 2040's
wrong.
9.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these space and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny as a Guardian. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
At no point do I see
One of the things that we really tried to also capture
guy.
is that the Witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the Subjugators.
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape. They have an enhanced power set. They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the Guardian, well, in support of all the other enemies you're fighting too.
They bring something entirely new to the battlefield, which is this element of
they use strand too.
They're back there
obviously they're
pinging
using
away
strand
with
weapons,
stasis
but
abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
Interesting. So they only use darkness. Darkness.
We're focusing you on the campaign
like
and only the
stasis and
campaign. It's
strand.
the most important thing in the universe at that moment. You have to stop the final shape from happening.
And for that, we do need the help with our allies. And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination.
So Cade is only here because
the entire Pale Heart is going to
we're
react
in the
to
Pale
you
Heart.
and what you are doing.
Well, Ikora, I'm assuming, is in the Pale Heart, and he was important to her.
The campaign in the final shape
He's not
doesn't
really alive, it's
end
just like
with
a
the final
manifestation
mission.
of life
The raids
as
are where you defeat
Guardians
like the
know it.
big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the Witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the Witness.
Monolith is going to be the raid. Interesting.
In the final shape, we are inside the
Look at that
Traveler.
beard.
Very
Immaculate.
close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
We want to create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds.
Isn't that always been the case? It's always been support classes and stuff.
The Warlock Super is its ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your garden.
There's a new
the Solar
super?
Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first-person super in Destiny right now. Your melee's like all these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade almost being sentient as it searches around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one.
And you still have your weapon
You're
out.
so overflowing with
Is
this
that supposed
energy
to be the
that you're
case?
also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying Scorch when they're shooting.
The new Solar Warlock aspect, when I cast my Rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when it sees an enemy, it launches
adding
part of
solar
itself
cells.
out and hits the enemy
solar
and explodes
subclass.
and scorches them.
It just feels very alive.
I wonder
Twilight
what
Arsenal.
is it going to be? How is this going to translate for
layered
DPS though? Like, is it?
super.
Is that just
This is the only ranged
like
one-off offensive
Stormcaller,
super
where
for
it's
Titans
only
in the
good for
game.
ads?
The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around and you and your allies can go and pick up that axe and start wailing on enemies with it.
I can see how that's going to be useful for
The Void Titan
DPS.
aspect, I press and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more damage it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
Okay, okay.
The Hunter Arc Super.
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance between 2 points. The hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife and throws it across the world, and then is able to blink to its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing about that is not just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
The hunter has an aspect. We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know?
We
Like
to
that
anticipate the,
instantaneous.
the level of ads
That was
going to
good,
be
but I think it's more
increased
like
for
you know?
I like it. I like it.
shit. So I feel like I don't know. I guess I didn't see
Weapons
enough
team has
of
been
the
working on all
Warlock
sorts of goodness. We've got
Super because it just feels like it's
exotics,
just
we've got
enhanced
legendaries,
melee
we've got
abilities.
perks. We're always cooking up stuff. We're always playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's the one specific exotic that I can make that's like really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler Beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went, I kind of want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic
So like a
Destiny
light
1
gun?
weapons, but really turn it into something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
We have to bring Kvotov into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath. Burn the world, burn it all. In the final shape, we have new
So is
weapon
Kvotov gonna
subfamilies
be
coming, broadening what existing weapons
turn
can
into
be.
a legendary,
Really,
or is it going to be
bordering on
exotic?
functionality. So for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always liked the special ammo sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support frame auto rifle is a type of legendary auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly
Oh, that was
from
the Ace of
firing
Spades.
at enemies to healing your allies. I'm really excited to bring it to dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
Weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff
support
coming over the next few
AR,
years,
what
and some
the
new and
heck?
really wild ideas, which we're pretty excited about.
Guardian, the Witness poses a dire threat. And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek.
Oh, this is next season.
Only if
Oh,
we
this season
contend
now.
with her sister, Zivu Araf. It rests with me.
Will you come back from this?
Do not be afraid.
Is she gonna become the Witch Queen? Or something completely?
Bring me your tithes.
What the hell?
You now wield hive magic and have entwined it with your light. Assault the Spire, Guardian, and open the way to our tithes. Let them
Oh,
know
we can use the moss?
the death of whispers, and they do whisper. Fight in my name, Guardian. Every opponent you defeat strengthens me.
The finishers. Oh, it's a grenade. Is this a subclass? Or is it like...
Appetite rises for your brutal
Is it supplicant to already existing subclasses? Supplemental, not supplicant.
Show her what it is to be Hive. You have sounded the horn of battle! You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
Is she talking to us or is she talking to the Witness? Because I feel like the Witness
Season of
was
the Witch is our
also
opportunity as players.
a
We've been
grave enemy
annihilating
of
and breaking
her
Hive
because
spells,
she
and now we
lost her
finally
free
get to
will with
cast
him.
them.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the Exotic Mission Rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content
I
the
love
fans and players
Prestige.
of Destiny love
I'm
the
really
most.
good. I'm
The
really
most
happy about
exciting
that.
thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
Oh! Let's go.
With Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focus the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder more often. There's not as much deep sight lines that you're interacting with. And a lot of the flow of the map is actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the Vex network that you're orienting around.
And there's also some modes coming too, right?
We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass, we've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we've got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're gonna be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay.
Interesting.
It's all about running around the map, claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I will take what I need. The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty Hivey this season, obviously. There's something in the air. And so when thinking about like, what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very Hivey season, there's only one answer.
Crota. It's gotta be Crota, right? Oh, no, duh.
I have seen what the Hive call a god.
Crota's End. I never played Crota's End, so... This is gonna be fun. From what I understand, Crota's End was kind of short for a raid. So...
Only a true weapon of the light can stop his wrath.
Hopefully it's been you know, sufficiently updated. September 1st. When is that? That's in a couple weeks.
In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand, and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into the game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
That experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for
the
this
power
because I think
climb
there will be a
wasn't
lot
an
more
issue.
clarity
It's not like
for
power
players in
is
terms
an
of
issue
understanding
inherently.
the relative
It's the
difficulty of
path
things,
to
where they sit
increase
now
your
in the
power
spectrum.
One
is
way
way
that we're
too
trying
grindy,
to do that is making
especially for
it
new
easier
players. It's
for
the
new players
path has got to be more
engage
clear
with you. So
on
we're
where you can
introducing
get like the best
something that we're calling
power
higher
increases and stuff like that.
Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the final shape. And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the final shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic styled experiences throughout the final shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience, whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all
It's
about
huge for people who like care about the story, because then you can revisit moments in this.
More often.
I'm
And it
assuming
really
these are like
provides the team
seasons.
with a platform
These
to go
episodes are
much
like
deeper into the
seasons.
themes and fantasies.
That
and
you can
story
revisit moments so
of
you can
any
like
individual episode
maybe you
as
want to break
compared
down
to
some
the
lore or
seasons you
something
know
like
of
that, or
today.
like
I'm
refresh
so
yourself.
excited to see what the
That's
narrative
huge.
team can do.
Do not be afraid. Bring me your tithes.
After all these years, all we've lost. This fight.
I do find it weird that they use like the way that they demonstrate the supers is against ads.
So I'm asking you
I guess that's like
to rise.
a cool way to show it, because it shows a lot of devastation.
One
Whereas, you know, if you hit a boss with a super, you're still alive. But maybe give us like a base demonstration of how much damage this super is gonna do to like a boss. Do a collector's edition? Is it the tower?
When we create a collector's edition, we try and recreate items from the universe for players to enjoy outside of the game. So this year we're doing the Destiny 1 tower.
It is the
we
tower.
We really try to work hard at thinking about 10 years of Destiny and how best to encapsulate that experience.
Even as the game dev who've worked on it since day one, like I think having it be the tower is super exciting for us, because it's going to kind of
Where's the
catalog your
detail at,
journey
though?
of a player.
It looks
from
like
when
they
you
just
first started
3D
playing
printed this thing.
Destiny all the way to now.
I mean, they added some LED
it's
lights.
kind of
but
like the beacon in which you're a place you can call home.
You get the tower. And then there are actual figures of the Vanguard mentors that accompany that architectural model.
And there's a lot of like hidden messages and hidden things.
There's going to be some fun surprises. We're always trying to push the
I mean,
envelope.
that's cute or
And
whatever,
so
but
we've been
not
playing a
really.
lot
It
with
looks so
magnetic
bland. It's
locks
just
and
all
sound
gray.
effects and lights. Just sort of make this experience as a whole really special. It's sort of the perfect symbol of
Dude, this
Destiny.
compared to
I'm
like
so excited
the
for it.
Eyed Ghosts from Witch Queen, it's trash, kind of like. This is garbage. Is that all you get with the collector's editions? You gotta pay individually for the rest of the items, right? Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna lie, that was underwhelming. The new supers, it looks like they were showing us like beta footage. It didn't really give an idea of the scale of what it could do. And I don't like whatever, you know. Mostly looked like it had clear stuff, maybe some support stuff, but like no DPS options or like no idea of what it's gonna look like for DPS. They didn't really tell us anything new about this, like what to expect from the story. We got an idea. They said that they made a location that was like nothing they've ever done before, but they said that like the beginning part of like the entrance of the Traveler is going to look like the tower from D1. So it is something we've seen before. Season of the Witch stuff, I mean, it sounds cool, but like how effective is it going to be? And it looks like they're bringing the Witch Queen. It feels like they're bringing her back without bringing her back, and that feels cheap. Just bring her back. She doesn't have to be like a big part of the action. It feels I'm like after playing Destiny 2 for so long, I'm expected to be disappointed each step of the way. I'm not really certain that it's going to be up to snuff, you know. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully we see something different, something cool. The new matchmaking system seems like it's going to be really cool for like new players or solo players, people who don't want to sweat, they just want to have a good time. Other than that, also that collector's edition, the tower, like in theory is cool, but like where's the detail? Like take the time. The freaking the Hive Ghost that came out for Witch Queen was so detailed. It felt real. It's not even like a Lego creation of the tower. It's like a Lego creation would have been way more detailed than what that was. Were those salt shakers, the little characters that you can put on the tower, which were bigger than the freaking tower itself? Like what? They look like salt shakers. They did hint at some new PvP stuff, which will be interesting. I'm not really a PvP guy, but maybe, you know, the new mode and the fact that the director, he said in that video that he posted like last week that there's going to be a team dedicated to PvP. Hopefully they do something cool with it, make me want to play PvP, because I haven't played in months. It seems like they're doing some cool stuff with guns. Whereas there was that gun, I hope it's an exotic, but it's a gun that you can switch between it being strand or stasis. That seems pretty cool. They're combining abilities with Hive stuff. That seems pretty cool. But in practice, how is that going to feel? How useful is it going to be? Are we going to be able to build into that kind of stuff? It's all remains to be seen. Just got to play the game and figure it out, I guess. If you like that video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel.
And that's the way it is.